Hello and welcome back to another episode of Inside the Nest. I'm Campbell Donovan. The 3-day weekend is passed behind us, and I know we're all inching towards that finish line. Lacrosse, baseball, and softball are well on their way to the home stretch of their seasons. But there's one team in particular that has had to adjust to a new conference. That's right, men's lacrosse is now in the Coastal Lacrosse Conference after spending 3 seasons in the Colonial States Athletic Conference, where they made championship game appearances in 2019 and 2022. What is the CLC? Well, the traditional NJ schools such as Montclair State, Keene, and Stockton joined the likes of Mary Washington, Salisbury, and Christopher Newport to form this new pack. The team is 6-6 and looking to turn tide as the year comes to a close. Despite having a conference record of 1-2, let's look at the positives. Starting with some defensive stats. The Red Hawks are first in saves per game with 13.54 and second in saves percentage with an impressive .529. And give credit to the backstopper David Metzger. The grad student has kept MSU in games when they need him most. Metzger has made 164 saves on the year and has done a great job in the clearing game, as MSU has been successful 225 times out of 278, third behind CNU and Salisbury. Face-offs and ground balls continue to be a struggle for the Red Hawks. MSU has lost more draws than won. Their face-off percentage sits at a whopping .479. Ground balls win games, that's the old saying, but the team has struggled to get those 50-50 ones and are dead last with a total of 411 in the conference, along with having a game average of 32 per game. Scoring has come in bunches. Familiar face Tyler McCreary leads the team in points with 40, along with his brother Mike, who was second on the squad with 33, followed by Joe Cavino with 25 points. But milestones have been the focal point of this campaign. Tyler became the all-time points leader in school history in their victory against Misericordia. Mike got his 100th career point and it's set back to Christopher Newport, and now midfielder Matt Dansix is a point away from achieving that 100 mark. Penalties have been a struggle for MSU as well. They are first in the CLC with 71 total infractions, including 6 against their last game against Anna Maria College, something that no team wants to endure down the stretch. 4 games remaining, and Coach Poskin knows his team wants to improve and get better every day. Men's lacrosse, on the other hand, has seen some struggles with a record of 3-7. Ahead of Saturday's game against TCNJ, their first NJ contest of the season, we check in with the team. Unfortunately, the team didn't have too much to smile about against a truly tough 9-2 Lions team, losing 19-0, who, by the way, is number 4 in the country. Joey Kropkov made 8 additional saves on the day, and the team had 4 shots on goal. When asked about the loss, head coach Nicole Parsaluzzi said, "Not our day today. We'll use the next 10 days to get healthier and prepare for Ramapo on the 18th. The 16-6 softball team continued their long string of NJAC opponents this week. They faced Keene in a doubleheader this past Tuesday. After a disappointing 8-0 loss, the Red Hawks rallied back to win 3-2. Jen Maluso had 2 RBIs from 2 hits. Only 4 days later, the Red Hawks hosted Ramapo College in another doubleheader. The Roadrunners won both games, 6-2 and 6-4. Alyssa Borzan still added to her impressive season, now with a .562 batting average, and is up to 130 career hits. 50 of those have come this season, and she's been placed on the NFCA D3 Player of the Year watch list. So keep a lookout there. It's something to build upon as they visit Rutgers Camden on Tuesday, with the first pitch scheduled for 3 p.m. Queen Aileen has done it again. Aileen Cahill has just received first-team All-American honors. It's no surprise there. She has been a key player in the Red Hawks' success last season. MSU finished the year 17-3-1 and 8-1 in the conference, capturing the NJAC regular season championship and also a second-round appearance in the NCAA tournament. Let's take a look at other accomplishments that Cahill received last season. To start things off, she had 16 goals and 9 assists. which is the highest she's reached in goals and assists ever. Not only that, she was also the top scorer in the NJAC this past season. Cahill was also one of 2 players to make program history when she scored a hat-trick alongside Kylie Prendergast, making it the first time in MSU women's soccer history that 2 players scored hat-tricks in the same game. She had 2 hat-tricks last season and was also named Co-Midfielder of the Year in the NJAC. Queen Aileen has definitely achieved a lot as a junior, and she'll continue to achieve more of that in her senior year at MSU. Along with Cahill, there have been 2 other awards this week as well. David Metzger won the CLC Defensive Player of the Week award, and Nikki Lesnio won the NJAC Rookie Pitcher of the Week. At his time at Montclair State, Metzger has had 226 saves, but when it comes to career saves, he has 686, and that number will continue to go up. Lesnio has had 43 strikeouts so far, and she's just a freshman. The RHS crew, along with the help of BMO and SEM professors, put on the first ever live multicam production for baseball. So many cameras, zip ties, and cable iron went into this production that got shifted to last Sunday because of bad weather. Let's see how it went.
Last Sunday was a very busy weekend for Red Hawk Sports Network as well as Montclair State Baseball. Behind me is Yogi Berra Field, where Rutgers Newark came to town for a doubleheader. The series was split right down the middle, Montclair State easily winning the first game 13-4, second game not so easy for Montclair. They were down 6-1 early on, later tying at 7-7 to force extra innings. Rutgers Newark ended up winning game 2, which meant a series split. The production itself was very busy throughout the day, which includes broadcasters, pre- and post-game shows, 2 sideline reporters, and an off-site control room.
So my first event as stage manager, I thought it went pretty well. Most of it was that the whole team around us just worked well, and everyone did their job well. Working with Catherine and Charlie on the set, they did a great job, and I was able to help them, whether to hook up mics.
What I enjoyed most about my final pregame show before graduation was the interview with Coach Rossi during the pregame show. I mean, we were dealing with some issues pregame in the morning, and we were rolling with the punches, but everyone kind of came together, made sure that everything was running smoothly, and it turned out to be one of the best parts of the pregame show.
I think the first game was a little over 3 hours, but at least we had a nice pitcher's duel. Towards the end of the game, though, there was a lot of back and forth. Montclair State was able to really pull away and get the hits that they needed down the stretch. And the second game, however, was, oh my goodness, that was a marathon. 4 hours, game was very slow. As a commentator, especially for baseball, your job is to really fill time, and I think we had enough stuff to really get us through that, and me and Campbell, I think, really knocked it out of the park.
Baseball is a different sport than football. I think that both homecoming and this baseball broadcast had ups and downs. But one thing that I really wanted to point out was that this was still a first. We did the first in the fall with homecoming, but this was the first baseball broadcast that we've done like this. And anytime there's a first, there's going to be things that you can improve on. But I'd say for the first time doing something like this, it went really well. Everybody worked really great as a team, whether it was in the control room, down in the field with the camera operators or the hosts, sideline reporters, anybody else as far as talent. I thought did a really good job executing the plan that we had set. I really wanted to be able to direct the baseball game before I graduated, so personally I was really happy that I got the chance to do that, and it was something that I can now check off my bucket list.
It was a very productive yet exhausting weekend here for the Red Hawk Sports Network. Although the game went to extra innings, we got to witness the new rules and changes in baseball firsthand. Here's Matt Orth on what they're doing to improve the speed of the game.
The NBA added a three-point line in 1979. The NFL is constantly analyzing and adding rule changes. But what about America's national pastime? Just a bat, a ball, a glove, and 4 bases. For the longest time, professional baseball hasn't made any drastic changes. But this year, the MLB and NCAA from Division 1 to 3 have begun to change the game. On the Major League side, rules were changed from bigger bases to the ban of shifts to promote more offensive play. But the most game-impacting rule change was the introduction of the pitch clock. Batters and pitchers both have to be set for the at-bat within 15 seconds or else a violation occurs. Head coach Dave Lorber has mixed feelings on the new rules.
Well, I think the rule is a good rule, and I think that the spirit of the rule is a good spirit. What's happening is I think there's a lot of interesting gray area that's going on within the rule, and I don't think everybody fully interprets the rule the correct way. And so when there is a pitch clock violation or something, without fail, a coach is going out to argue the call, which in case is turning it into a longer period of time than if the pitch had just been delivered.
Lorber does have to work with some rule changes of his own at the collegiate level. Back in August of last year, the NCAA Playing Rules Oversight Panel put together some shifts in the rules for the upcoming 2023 season. Some of those changes include a pitcher being forced to start the throwing motion to avoid a violation. Other changes include pitchers only being allowed one step off or a fake throw to any base to reset the clock. Graduate student pitchers Chris Lum and Alec Benziger feel they are affected by these changes, but not tremendously.
You always see a pitcher who's like, his rhythm is always a little longer, the game slows down a little bit, and sometimes like you see the ump get on him a couple times a game and say, hey, like that's a ball in the count because he took way too long to come set to get ready to deliver the pitch. So I mean, yeah, we'll probably see a lot more of that in the future.
But for Lorber, he does not feel the same way.
No, that piece of it I don't really mind at all. You know, the one step off is fine. I mean, they have a chance. They can step off once, but they have to pick off from there on, and that resets the clock. So ultimately, I mean, it's in the pitcher's hands. As long as they feel comfortable throwing over to the base, you could throw unlimited times. There's no stop to that.
To further enforce the action clock rule, the NCAA feels a visible clock is needed on the field. Lum and Benziger feel that it will be distracting for everyone on the field, while Lorber feels indifferent about this change. But it's not just all pitching. Batters can also be called for a violation for not complying with the action clock. That rule doesn't seem to have affected the Red Hawk bats. The baseball team scored 20 plus runs in 5 out of their 13 games, with a few of these games ending due to mercy rules like on March 21st against Bleeman College. The game was called after 7 innings and a 25-0 lead. There was no set mercy rule in college baseball. In that situation, there was a pre-decided threshold set in the ground rules. Coach Lorber is not a fan of the concept.
I don't love it, you know, for Division III because 10 run innings, 5 run innings, 7 run innings are not uncommon at this level. But I think in certain circumstances, it could be beneficial on getaway days and things like that.
But even with the changes for the better and potentially for the worse, everyone seems to be in agreement that the future of baseball is heading into a good spot.
Yeah, I would say baseball, Major League Baseball, and stemming down to the collegiate, high school, and youth level is going in a really bright direction. I think that the games are going to be more action-packed, especially with the clock, the bigger bases, the ban on the shift. You'll see more hits that maybe wouldn't have happened years ago, and I think that's what fans want to see is more action-packed moments where there's maybe bases loaded, runners in scoring position, higher scoring games. I think that's what it's all about.
As we head towards that finish line, it's important to remember all the good moments that we cherish. And I sure did have those many good moments with the Red Hawk Sports Network. The chase for conference tournament play still has arise, and we can't wait to see that play out. Be sure to check out all of our content on Instagram and TikTok at Red Hawk SN, and check out our YouTube channel as well as streaming on Hawk Plus. From everyone here on Inside the Nest, including my final time here, I'm Kendall Donovan. And remember, don't let anyone tell you can't do anything.